Good evening, friends. I'm Cassandra Joan Butler, Agent 56 with the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. Welcome to Cosmic Connections. Our look at the week ahead, astrologically, and with a little mediumistic spiritual messages as well. So I'm running a little behind tonight. Usually we start at 8:30, but sometimes things interfere with cosmic connections. Anyway, I'm glad to be here. I was at a celebration, a personal celebration. All right, friends, so let's talk about our week that's coming up, and obviously the weekend, which was a very big weekend. We had not only a new moon solar eclipse, a doorway of change, but we also had the first time since 1861 Neptune moving into Aries. And those of you who are members of the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, many of you came to my webinar last week with Julia Simons. And so that's still available, as well as other fantastic articles, webinars, videos as a member of the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. So I'm certainly going to encourage you to look into that as you move forward in your astrological education. Cosmic Intelligence Agency. Alrighty. Hi, John. Again, I'm throwing everyone's schedule off. I'm not seeing a whole lot of folks. Hi, you're still awake, Anna. Thanks for being here. We're going to talk a little bit about the eclipse. We're going to talk a lot about the lunation for this week, which of course is on Saturday. Do I have my book handy? I don't, but I have the chart, so no worries. And we're also going to talk about the energy of today, because today is the crescent cycle, and then we'll do our spiritual messages. Hello. Oh my goodness. Michigan's had an ice storm. You've been without power for a few days. Many blessings to you, Sherry. Be well, be safe. I know they're expecting a lot of very challenging weather across the United States, especially tornadoes over the next few days. Hi, Nancy. Hi, John. Good evening. I'm doing well. Hi, Debbie. Thanks for being here. And again, I'm saying hello to the people who are in my chat. I'm not sure which platform the chat is coming in from. But again, welcome to Cosmic Connections. Let's take a look at the energy of the week. And I'm going to go backwards here. So this is the Cosmic Connections. We're in the Aries cycle, the new time, the new spring area. Louise from Florida, hello, welcome. And let's kind of go backwards to Sunday. And I have some questions for you. This is the question of the week. Is anyone feeling a little spacey? Is anyone feeling a little bit sensitive, perhaps overly sensitive? I can't emphasize enough. Neptune moving into Aries is a very big deal. Nadine, so nice to see you. Hi, Jerry. The last time that Neptune was in the sign of Aries, the last ingress, was on April 13th of 1861, mere hours after the first shots were ringing in Charleston, South Carolina, which of course started the American Civil War. And so it's a big deal. Neptune stays in a sign for approximately 14 years. Our Neptune in Aries, which is where it's currently transiting, is going to go backwards into Pisces to finish up its Pisces work later this year. I think in October, I believe. I'm not sure what the exact date is off the top of my head. But Neptune in Aries is especially affecting the 0 or early degrees of your planets in your chart. If you're fiery, that is Leo or Sagittarius, or of course Aries, you're really feeling it, especially in the early degrees. And what are you experiencing? Well, Neptune kind of shades things in my interpretation, a sort of cloudy, transcendent feeling. You may have more of an interest in faith the idea of surrendering, sensitivity, perhaps wanting to retreat more. Again, this is especially pertinent because it's flowing for the fire signs. If it's in an air sign other than Libra, that's Aquarius and Gemini, your early degrees of your planets or your rising sign, and you have Neptune there, sextiling those energies in your chart, you may be feeling I have to put forth some effort, some opportunities to begin to activate my imagination. Where you find Virgo or Scorpio early degrees with Neptune ingress, that's called an inconjunct. You might be wanting to balance a little bit more smoke and mirrors, not really feeling centrally embodied in your body. So there's a whole lot going on. And if you're Libra early degrees, 0 to 5, with this Neptune ingress, you might be feeling this tension. It's an opposition. So the question of the week, is anyone reported any spaciness, any surrender, added sensitivity, perhaps even added psychic intuition since Sunday? I've had a number of clients report to me, and they don't really understand the mechanics of the chart, but that's okay. My goodness, Cassandra, I've been feeling really spacey. I've been feeling really not really here since Sunday. So if you're feeling that, you want to explore your chart to see what Neptune is doing. It's just a sneak preview. Remember, these outer planet transits take a while, right? Neptune's going to be in Aries for 14 years. It's what we call a personal planet. It's an outer planet, and it has long-term effects for the culture, for fashion, for music. But some of us are feeling it already on a personal level. All right. In summer, that makes a lot of sense because you are a 0-1 degree of Aries, and Neptune's right on top of your sun sign. All right. So no matter what else is going on in your life, you might be feeling a very sensitive, and the way out perhaps is faith and surrender, faith and surrender. Deb is reporting super psychic and mediumship. Very interesting. And surrender. That makes a lot of sense. You're hyper focused on tasks in your Scorpio. So Terry, you want to see where your Scorpio sun is, if it's in the early degrees. Okay. Your feeling of energy, you're getting into projects you've been wanting to do for a while. That makes a lot of sense, Joanne. And all of this combination could be the Aries new moon solar eclipse on Saturday. Like, this is the time. By the way, as we are navigating the rest of this particular lunation, please understand, friends, we still have Venus, we still have Mercury retrograde. So there's a lot of, the analogy I like to use when planets are retrograde, we're pulling our stick shift into first or second gear, but we're not quite yet into the fourth or fifth gear. Barbara, so nice to see you. Hi, Candy. You're having a lot of energy today. Michelle, hello. Nancy, hello. And you're feeling more spiritual surrender, my dear, because you have that Aries 3 degrees. You're already feeling that. Does this make sense? A lot of people. Okay, Nancy, thank you for sharing. Nancy S., really struggling with spaciness. Hi there. What you got for me tonight, Ryan? Okay, look to where, I know you have a lot of Aquarius in your chart, Ryan. So this Neptune is actually sextiling your Aquarius energy, which a sextile is a good thing. It's opportunities with effort. So all of these things are great feedback from you all. Hi, Root Dot, what? Marker, good evening. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Diane. Hi, Terry. Yeah, 1861. Isn't that crazy? These outer planets mark off cultural changes, and Neptune's orbit is approximately 165 to 168 years going around the sun. So it's, last time I was there, it was in 1861. Crazy indeed. All right. Hi, Star Tribe. Hi, Claire. I hope you're doing better. I think you had something that we had communicated about. I hope you're feeling well tonight, Clara. Hi, Joanne. Nadine. I think I said hi to everybody. If not, hello, Cancer Sun. All right. So Elizabeth Tang, you want to see what degree is your Cancer Sun, what degree is your Libra. But again, the cardinal signs are really going to be feeling this strong. North Node and Pisces have anything to do with this? Absolutely, Nancy. And please understand, when I'm with you for a mere 30 minutes a week, I'm sometimes zeroing in on one storyline, but astrology is very complex. And of course, the North Node being in Pisces, and we have a lot of planets in Pisces, as you can see, friends. We've got the North Node, we've got Venus, we've got Mercury, we've got Saturn, all in Pisces. That can also attest to that sense of spaciness where you find Pisces in your chart. Okay, so I just wanted to make a mention about, and I'll be talking a lot about this for the next 14 years, Neptune ingress in Aries. And just another couple of mentions about today's crescent moon. The crescent moon is at 13 degrees of Gemini, which happens to be on the descendant of the USA chart. And so I thought that was extraordinarily interesting. And why? Because the United States has a chart, and 13 degrees represents its partners. Of course, there was a big announcement about the tariffs today. And how are we interacting? We, meaning the United States, the country, the people, with our partners. And that's being highlighted today on the crescent cycle. Extremely interesting. All right. So our focus here tonight, however, is what's going to be happening here on the 4th. Boy, I have to really squint for this. This is the first quarter square. And the moon is going to be, again, activating the US's chart. It's going to be conjunct the US's sun. So where you find Cancer or Capricorn in your chart, a little prediction as we uncover the next week and a half. It starts on the weekend, but we're already feeling it. How are you feeling secure, emotionally or financially? And I mean we, meaning the US's sun sign. But if you have strong Cancer or Capricorn in your chart, it might be in a very routine, everyday sense of feeling emotional regarding financial security, etc. I pulled out an article from Yahoo News that claims that people are very fearful right now of overspending because, again, this poll is saying, because they're not really sure how the tariffs are going to play out regarding, spending per se. On a plus side, however, we have Juno. Partner alert is trining Neptune. What that says to all of us is that the partners in your life this week and beyond are feeling a whole lot more idealized. I mean, who's perfect? No one. All right. So Neptune trining Juno, we're able to overlook some of the difficulties about a partner with this particular situation. I don't know if anyone's experiencing that, like overlooking the partner who, overspends or oversleeps or overeats, whatever. So we might have more of an approach of being forgiving with regards to our partners. All right, I gotta grab a pen here. So this particular lunation kicks off on Saturday. Again, the idea here is that we're going to be feeling more on this weekend of getting things done. Now, take a look at that Sabian symbol. Does anyone have to do any paperwork, perhaps preparing your taxes, perhaps writing an important letter, perhaps writing something of import of any sort, communication of any sort? Because the Sabian symbol is a man is sitting before a square with a manuscript before him, a manuscript. So this represents communication, and a manuscript, of course, suggests a book or some other important document. And the suggestion here is profundity. And we want to see where the degrees of 15 degrees of Cancer is falling in your chart. That is the area of your life that's going to be activated in such a way to get something accomplished. So you have Cancer on the rising sign, Cancer sun, etc. I'll go through all the signs in just a moment. But the point is we're getting all fixated on getting something accomplished. We're past the point of the new moon. setting our intentions on the weekend. Right now, today, with that crescent moon, the crescent moon always is suggestive, wherever you find 13 degrees of Gemini, suggestive of working through difficulties and being determined above all to take care of connecting the dots between what you want, and what you want is reflective of what was happening on this weekend, and pushing through with the faith of Neptune trining Juno, really having faith in our partners, in our BFFs, in the people that we say are on our team. When I say partners, it doesn't necessarily mean a married partner. It can be any person that we have faith in who's our BFF. This trine to Neptune is saying we have to have faith in what we need to do with regards to those partners, and let things be forgiven and let things move forward. Okay, I'm going to go through all the signs right now. If you are Aries or Aries rising, this particular lunation starting on Saturday is activating your home, your family, where you're living, how you're living, your connection with the family. So it's a very significant week for that, for the Aries or Aries rising. For Taurus or Taurus rising, the energy is activating your way of thinking, communicating, and doing your self-talk as well. So really saying to yourself, Taurus, I'm going to move through some of my fears, because Cancer often is a worrier. I move through my fears and take care of business in a logical way, organize my papers and my thoughts. If you are a Gemini or Gemini rising, today might be kind of an emotional day because of the lunation, the moon, the sign of Gemini. But by the weekend, you're going to look at my self-worth, my value, my finances. How can I make more? How can I be more abundant? And not just in finances, but in just in my attitude. If you're Cancer or Cancer rising, this is an important week for you because you're stepping into your own sense of charisma, strength, and fortitude. You're feeling more courageous, Cancer. If you're Leo or Leo rising, this next week coming up is all about you taking more meditative breaks, retreating, praying, just resting a little bit more. If you're Virgo or Virgo rising, look to where your tribe is. Who are your friends? Who are your like-minded connections, Virgo, and making the most of that. If you're Libra or Libra rising, this upcoming week after Saturday is all about your career, your leadership, and taking the reins out there outside of your home or family. For Scorpio or Scorpio rising, it's all about travel, communication, writing, teaching. For Sagittarius, it's about connecting with your inner power, your spiritual power, your psychological power, your mediumistic power, and trusting what comes through for you. If you're Capricorn or Capricorn rising, this lunation is about your friends, your groups, and also your BFFs, your partners, in a very positive way. Aquarius, time to take care of your health and do those routines and do the eating right, sleeping right, exercising right to make yourself physically healthy. And Pisces or Pisces rising, this lunation is asking you to have fun, to have some creative moments of joy. And so there we have it. That's the energy. And then next week, we'll talk about the big full moon on the 12th of April. And that's always the full moon that happens and marks the beginning of Passover. So on Saturday, we mark the beginning of Passover. The next day is Palm Sunday. These are movable holidays, which are astrologically derived, because both of these holidays are astrologically derived because they take place after the first full moon after the spring equinox. Isn't that interesting? All right. Good evening, Rhonda from Orlando. Nice to see you. Okay, I have an undermined co-worker. Okay, let it be and surrender. Exactly, John. Good advice that you gave yourself. Hi, Susan from Nova Scotia. Great that you're here, first timer. All right, torrential rain finally quieted down where Janet is. Hi, Elizabeth. Okay, again, check those degrees of your Cancer Sun and your Libra ascending. So you might be already feeling that Neptune pass. All right, okay. Doesn't get more spacey than watching Star Trek. Thanks, Ryan, for that. Hi there, Kelly. Hey, yes. Okay. Hi, Celestine. Hello, Mary. All right. Fabulous to see you all. Paula and Judith and Anne-Marie. Hi, Jen. Hi, Terry. Hi, Cynthia. All right. I love the full moon energy as well. Let's do some spiritual messages, friends, shall we? So sit back, relax, and how this works for the new folks. I just trust spirit, and I wear my right side of my brain as I give you your spiritual messages. Dear God, please allow me to serve. Please allow my words to be filled with love and light, truth, inspiration, and healing for the highest, for the best, as we align ourselves with the Holy Spirit. Amen. I'm with Nancy. Oh, Nancy Rossman. May I come to you, my dear? Just say a yay or nay. Nancy Rossman. Hi, Marcy Ann. Hi, Paula. Okay, Nancy, as I'm tuning into your energy tonight, I get some connection with the holiday that's coming up, which is Easter Passover. I think it's Easter that you celebrate. And what I'm picking up is a gentleman coming in from Spirit wanting to be recognized because while he may not have been what we call a churchgoer, he still loved the essence of Easter, the essence of springtime, the new beginnings. And he's saying it's time for you to have a new beginning and to, he's saying, channel your inner me, whatever that means. I believe this is a father figure for you, Nancy. He's basically saying it's time for you to put your foot down, one foot in front of the other, and not be afraid of what people are saying about the decisions you want to make for yourself. I'm seeing that you're maybe doing some cleaning, decluttering, kind of reclaiming your home in some new ways. And I'm also getting some concern. I'm not sure. I'm picking this up in my back. There might be some needing to work and move and stretch the back muscles. But he's saying one foot in front of the other, and you need to assert yourself and not be afraid of what people are going to say when you speak your mind. And the people are family members, he's saying. But he loves, I'm getting the taste of Polish sausage. I'm getting the taste of breads and some of the traditional Easter treats that perhaps you've kind of gotten out of step with the cycle of the holidays, but he wants you to celebrate them, but not just from a religious point of view, but from a seasonal point of view. And he gives you a lot of love. He was a very stoic gentleman, kind of quiet sometimes, kind of grumpy sometimes, but he's saying that he's fine and he wants you to channel his inner strength as you approach some difficulty in communication with someone. I hope that makes sense. Feel free to leave some feedback. Okay. All right. I am now with Anna St. George. Anna, would you like, you said you would like a reading, so I'm going to give you a reading. All right. So as I'm tuning into you tonight, Anna, Anna St. George, I want to say this. I'm seeing, like, I don't know if you do painting or it's like there's like they're wide strokes. I'm seeing you using your right hand and doing either painting. I don't think it's like painting the walls in your home, but just painting or playing with some artistic colors. Actually, what I saw first was a mandala, the idea of meditating on mandala, but I'm seeing circles, I'm seeing shapes. If this is something you do or are thinking about doing, I'm going to say, please consider activating your inner artist and do this not necessarily for anything else other than a spiritual endeavor. but you're very good at it, and I'm getting this for you. I'm also getting the name. It's like a sh sound, a Sharon, a Sheila. I'm going to go with Sharon, the first name that came out that wants to be recognized from spirit. Sharon, Sherry, and she's coming in not so much as a blood relative, but a dear friend and someone that really treasured and respected your point of view. As we go into May of this year, May is very significant because Saturn goes into the sign of Aries, a long-held goal begins to be grounded for you. All right, a long-held goal. I don't know if you know your astrology, but if you look to where Aries falls in your chart, you've been working towards this goal. It's not the artistic thing I'm seeing, but something different. It could be even a new job. You start to manifest and enjoy this new responsibility, this new goal, this new endeavor. So I'll leave you with lots of love and light, Miss Anna St. George. Oh, that sounded like your dad. Good feedback, Nancy. Thank you for that. Okay. Yeah, Saturn Aries. We never say, oh no, when a planet moves, because they're all good, but you know, we are, it's like a reflex. Oh, Saturn's bad. Anyway, nothing gets done in the world without Saturn. So Saturn's been in Pisces for a while. And so the Pisces people have been knowing it. It's true, right? I mean, it's been a long time. Saturn went into Pisces on March 7th of 2023. It goes into Aries. So it's Aries' turn for the next 2.5 years. But anyway, I hope that all makes sense. Stepping into your authentic self. Very good, Anna. Yes, and where you find Aries, you're going to really find some, yes, the old man, the wise old man, the hermit. I call him the grumpy old man, the elite, the wise man. Carl Jung referred to the wise old man. That's definitely Saturn. Lots of archetypal energy in the room here tonight. All right, dear friends, I know it's late. I was late, but I want to wish you a fantastic week. Really use this energy between the 4th and the 12th to get something truly accomplished. And meanwhile, we do have Mercury going direct. And so things will be a little easier to get things in our communication world established. If there's paperwork or contracts or so forth that you need to have clarity on, we'll wait until Mercury goes direct. But you'll feel a little bit more energized next week. That's my thought. That's my hope. And then we get more illumination on the first day of Passover, the day before Palm Sunday. That's the full moon. And I'll talk to you next week on Wednesday at 8:30. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Be well. Stay well. Much love to all of you.